Good morning. This is Pierre Laguerre here, your daily motivator. Always here to challenge, inspire, and motivate you. So today I'm here for a bit on inspiration. I think every Sunday I'm going to give you some inspiration. And of course, I'm going to talk to you as the spiritual being that you are. And I'm going to deviate a little bit from the business side and really give you a little bit on the spiritual side. So again, I know that's the time when most people go to church, for those that are going to church, but I'm not going to take long. This is going to be something to challenge your mind, especially as I'm working on a series called Transforming Your Mind. So today we're talking about your words, the power of your words. And I think this is important because a lot of times we forget how powerful our words are. Let's think about it. What was the last thing you said? And of course, you know, words are coming from what? Your words are coming from your thoughts. But where do those thoughts reside? Where are your thoughts lodging? Well, I submit to you that your thoughts are actually lodging in your heart, in your spirit, man. And so we know that God created this universe by His word. Hey, guess what? You may not believe that, but in reality, whether you're an atheist or not, you still believe in God, because if I put you in the middle of a war right now with bullets flying and grenades falling, you'll be calling on this God that you don't know. So give me a break. You know there is somebody greater out there than you. Now, this same God holds everything by the power of His word. Question is, what have you been saying? So stay with me here, because I know a lot of you're seeking success. You're seeking success, and there is such a thing as good success. And to define good success, God specifically gave Joshua a command. After Moses died, He told Joshua, listen, I want you to put this word that Moses wrote in front of your eyes day and night. Read it to yourself, listen to it, hear it day and night, and ultimately you will have good success. So now, the point is, God gave Joshua a secret to the power of words. Now, we know that God created 6 times. He created different pieces of this universe, and ultimately He created man. Did you know, by the way, He created man with His word? Let us make man in our image. That's what He said. And so we are, just like He is, a three-part being. Spirit, soul, and body. So now, the point here is this. Your words have power because you are made in God's image. Just as He has power with His words, you are the only being on earth that actually can act and create like God does with His word. You have the power to conceive a thought and ultimately release it in words. Now you may say, well, Pierre, don't parrots speak words? Parrots are mimicking words. And matter of fact, parrots mimic so well that they can mimic any sound they hear. So parrots are not talkers just because they can mimic words. You and I, on the other hand, we specifically are speaking. We are creating from our thoughts. We are speaking words. And by the way, words are powerful regardless of the language. There's 192 countries, I believe, in the world, and many of them don't speak the same language, of course. Even though English may be the most popular language in the world right now, more people speak Chinese than English, as in Cantonese, right? So understand with me, and Mandarin. So those languages, they surpass English in terms of number of folks. It's just that English is a great language to do business across the world. But let's go down to words. Words come from your mouth. But in reality, it's out of the abundance of the heart that a man is speaking. And this is important here because this that we're talking about here is spiritual truth. It's spiritual principles. Your words are coming, they are basically reflecting your thoughts. Every time you speak a word, you're writing a check on one of your thoughts. So now, let me remind you of one more thing, which is very important. Proverbs 18:21 says that death and life are in the power of the tongue, which means your words are bringing forth death and they're bringing forth life. So this is important for you to understand, because so many times we actually are saying things, and that's why I said, what are you saying? Because your words are creating your world. And many people know of this principle, especially Christians. But so many times we think it's simply saying the right word. No, the reality is that these words are just a reflection of what's in your heart. That's why Jesus says, out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. Right? And of course, he said, you are snared by your words. So let me ask you a question. How many promises have you made to people? How many of those promises have you kept? Hey, we're all guilty of this. We've said things that we did not follow up on, and ultimately we became guilty. But those words have ensnared us. You are snared by your words. You gave your word. Here's a good one. Herod was king, and his daughter-in-law, did a dance, and it pleased him, and he told the girl, I'll give you anything up to half of my kingdom. The man was seduced, right? He was seduced by the girl's dance. And guess what? The girl asked her mom, what should I ask him? And the mom said, for the head of John the Baptist. So the girl came back and says, give me the head of John the Baptist on a charger, on a platter. And guess what? The king had to do his word. He was, really sad because he respected John as a prophet. But because he gave his word, and at this time John was in prison, he sent and they beheaded John. But you see, words have the power to cause death. Words also have the power to cause life. See, with your words, you saw that lady and you said, I'm going to marry that girl one day. We're going to have kids. And guess what? Years passed. And now you look back, you did marry that girl. And guess what? Now you've had kids with that girl. And you've got a whole lot more going on. And you've got to take control of your words. And my point to you is this. Many people try to control their words by controlling what comes out of their mouth. But in reality, what you need to do is to control what's going into your heart. So how do you control what's going into your heart? Because obviously your words are a reflection of the thoughts that exist in your heart. How are you going to do that? Very simple, my friend. You're going to start checking what's in your heart by, better yet, filling your heart with the right words. So you're going to have to make what I call some daily affirmations, but that's not enough. You're going to have to meditate the right thing. That's the key. What are you meditating? What are you thinking on? What are you pondering? Because those things are actually causing light or darkness to enter into your heart. Yesterday I was talking to one of my friends about the amount of unbelief that exists in this world. And we were really talking about how unbelief can stop your faith. And indeed it does. And even Jesus was subject to unbelief in his own town where he could not do miracles. Here's a man that had the power of God with him. And yet because of people's unbelief, where does that unbelief reside? In the heart. And where does it manifest? In the mind and the mouth, right? In words. You go doing something supernatural, which is naturally supernatural. People will be like, you can't do that. That can happen. It's not God's will for that to happen. But guess what? They're negating things. And there's a whole lot more where that comes from. So I suggest you check out my new podcast that's coming out this week called Transforming Your Mind, because there I'll give you a whole lot more on the power of your words, on the power that God has put in you. And so I appreciate you listening to this podcast. Give me your thoughts. How have your words created your current circumstances? Because it's by your words, your thoughts, what you've been meditating. You might have been worrying instead of thinking and living in joy, peace, love. Because worry is only causing you to dwell on the wrong things. So this has been Pierre Laguerre, your daily motivator. I hope I've challenged, inspired, and motivated you today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy.